Hello there.
It's showtime.
What is this, trick or treat?
Did I do that?
I'm Sailor Moon, the champion of justice.
Daddy would have gotten us Uzis.
The power is yours.
My name is Grace Jones.
Thundercats.
Power of 3 will set us free. Power of 3 will set us free. Power of 3 will set us free.
There's no more room in hell. The dead will walk here.
Welcome, Radical Ones, to another episode of the Radical Retro Rewind podcast. As always, I am your host, Radical Ryan Hunter, and I am joined for this special Muppets episode with everyone's favorite brother, David.
Gobble, gobble.
Oh, gobble, gobble to you too. This is the pre-Thanksgiving rush, and David, my 36th birthday, where I have been saying I was 36 for the whole previous year. So, David, I have aged myself a whole year, and now I did not get to experience the age of 35. So, what do? That's my newest predicament. Do I just go backwards now, and I say that I'm 35?
No, I think you need to take it on the chin. That's it. You snooze, you lose. You're obviously not at the point in your life where every moment counts and you have count every day and make sure that you're not that old and go, oh no, if only I could just say that I was 10 years younger. Maybe TikTok would accept me.
I think I just saw a quote from Blanche Devereaux. From now on, when you print my name, it will be Blanche Devereaux, 35 or 39. I think she said that's gonna be me.
From now on, when my name appears in print, it better read Blanche Devereaux, 39.
There was an episode where they tried to find out how old she was and the actual government blocked her date of birth somehow.
Can you believe we've reached another Thanksgiving? I mean, thank God that we're all here and we're healthy and we're alive. But wow, the year just flew.
Yeah, it did, honestly. I think still being in this whole bizarre situation, pandemic, still not, I don't know, just the craziness of the whole year and people against this and people against that. And for me personally, I am of the mindset, I'm totally for that. Mariah Carey did that thing with the pumpkins where she smashed the pumpkin.
She can't
it's
wait.
Not
that
time.
Woman.
I'm actually with her on this one. I'm rushing the day after Halloween. I took down my Halloween decorations. We do a fake tree because my kids have a lot of allergies. Plus, I just love it having it a long time. And
and it's so much easier, and it's for the environment.
No pine needles. Yeah, for the environment. There's no ticks potentially in trees. No squirrels. We're not taking away habitat for animals either. So I'm ready. We're just gonna clean up the house and we're gonna start putting up. We're gonna put our Christmas tree up first.
We put it up usually the week before Thanksgiving or around my birthday, so it sounds about right.
Not going to do Thanksgiving dinner and then have to put a tree up on the same day. No, that's not happening. Yeah, so that's that. My children have definitely put in their requests for gifts to Santa.
Ooh, Santa. Ooh, that's right.
Ooh, Santa.
He's going to be coming in a month. Ooh.
I hope Santa's been working the pole and making some extra cash on the side because prices are crazy. And supplies. Oh, I've already bought stuff. I bought stuff and I was never this person,
People that
got to. Oh, Christmas in July. Oh, it was Christmas in July. I started buying and ordering stuff. And sometimes I'm just getting the stuff now.
See, and thank God you did it. Thank God you ordered ahead because, my God, what would you do?
Oh, by the way, your Christmas present, I'm not giving it away. So I'm sending it to you now in the next, I don't know, it's very soon. It's going to come hopefully for your birthday because it's a combo gift. It works together. You're going to be very surprised and very excited, I believe.
Did you get a Wonder Twins ring that you can turn into a bucket of water and I could turn into the other thing? An animal of some kind? The Tiger King?
I need to turn in shape of Jenny Craig. Form of Weight Watchers.
So, David, I was trying to come up with a movie for Thanksgiving time, and Honestly, there's not too many Thanksgiving movies.
For us growing up, most of the time when Thanksgiving comes around, it gravitates towards Christmas. It's like pre-Christmas. What are we going to do? Like a Christmas movie? Do you know what I mean? So we decided on this, which to me, the Muppets are definitely the epitome of good things.
And we are New York natives, so the fact that Thanksgiving time usually has the Thanksgiving Day parade in front of Macy's and all that, I mean, this is a stretch, but I figured New York, family, us, you know, our home turf, and memories for us. So I thought that might be good for Thanksgiving.
Can I just tell you, this is yet another movie that depicts New York as raw, gross, and cruel and horrible. Are we missing something?
We did Jason Takes Manhattan in the summer.
No, there was something else that we talked about. Wasn't there another movie that depicted New York too? There was like, oh yeah, Vamp. Toxic waste dump. Was that it? No, it was something.
I don't remember. It
remember.
might have been Chicago or New York, but we weren't sure. It's a big city like that, but for sure, Jason Takes Manhattan was like literally hell on earth alleys. This Muppets, you at least see some bright happiness in Central Park.
This movie definitely solidifies my thoughts that Miss Piggy needs anger management.
Miss Piggy steals the show with anything she does, but especially in this movie. Before we get into it, David, I want to ask you, what are some of your favorite Muppets? I'm saying Muppets plural because I feel like you can't just pick one.
Oh, like out of the main cast, or are you talking like the extended world?
Even minus Sesame Street, Muppets, that even background Muppets that you saw in the Muppet Show, the Penguins, you know, even that, the chickens.
I love the main cast. I mean, ever since I heard Rainbow Connection, Kermit, that definitely has an emotional tie for me. I think I saw some sort of, I don't know, if it was ER or Grey's Anatomy. There was a kid who was passing away. It was Christmas time and they played the Rainbow Connection. I was bawling my eyes out, bawling. I've always loved Miss Piggy because she's crazy. I mean, I just love that she karate chops people, that she's...
Well, we know one of your favorite Miss Piggy moves that we did discuss this in another episode. I don't even know what this was in, but Muppets, the Great Muppet Caper.
You're gonna bleep it out when she...
Yeah.
Punches
one of the
a robber.
Oh my god! I mean,
and she bends the bar. She's in prison, and she is being held that she's for something she didn't do, and she bends the bars.
Miss Piggy is a beast.
So I love Miss Piggy. I love Janice. Is it Janice?
Janice.
Oh my god! There's a part in this movie,
AKA Taylor Dane. I think Janice looks like Taylor Dane now.
Tell it to my heart.
Tell it to my heart.
Janice is hysterical because she's like the quintessential, like, oh my god. Like,
I know, I love it. Her eyes are always closed too.
There's a part in this movie where she says something to the effect of, and I told him I'm not doing nudity or something. And I was
I'm
like,
not taking my clothes off. They're talking and it just stops and she's like, I'm not doing tasteful nudity or something like that.
Oh, no, even if it's art. I think she said even if it's art.
Look, buddy, I don't take my clothes off for anyone, even if it is artistic.
I love Janice. I love Miss Piggy. I honestly, they all have special places. I can tell you that there's not a Muppet that I can say that I don't like.
You never met a Muppet you didn't like.
I mean, they're all special in their own way, and try to keep it short because I know I talk a lot. But the point is, for me, the Muppet movies in general, and Jim Henson Productions, and Dark Crystal, and Sesame Street, is that all of this stuff was done, and we talked about this when we talked about, when we talked about The Wizard of Oz. This is actual puppeteering, which you almost were, remember? At least when your guidance counselor told you to be a circus performer or whatever. In our minds, what do they say? Dispelled belief? No, what's the...
Yes, you suspend belief, and they become alive. They become alive to you.
This is so much better than CGI. This is so much better than this over the top where you know that it's ridiculously done. Like we even talked about that with Vamp, like with Grace Jones with the attack scene when it was so raw, but it looked so real compared
because of the
to
real effects.
The almost over the top, dare I say, because I love it, like Matrixy ridiculousness, like that sometimes that other movies. The Matrix is different because it's made to be that way. Like it's supposed to be that, but I'm talking like they do this in movies and you're like, huh? This is why a lot of action movies, we talk about like, even if they did Thundercats, which they're going to do, like you have to be very careful where Masters of the Universe, you know, with Dolph Lundgren, you have to be careful about where you do these things. So
yeah, don't take them to Earth, aka. But when you're the Muppets, it works.
So the Muppets are great, and this whole Muppet universe is amazing because people accept that pigs talk and frogs talk, and they're mingled with human beings.
And dare I say, in various parts of this movie, interspecies love. But we'll get into that because I got some questions and comments. So, David, basically we start off that the Muppets are in college in this movie. I feel like each movie is really a standalone. They're all in the same universe, I guess, but they don't really connect to each other. So in this movie, the Muppets don't have the show. They're college kids and they want to make it on Broadway. So they literally take off in a night and come to New York, end up staying inside of
Port Authority lockers.
Oh my God, the lockers. I love that the Muppets are always usually underdogs. They're always underdogs. They're always wanting to put on a quality show.
I can go with that. Yeah, definitely.
In the beginning, in their performance, they're doing a play called Manhattan Melodies, and that's what they're trying to sell the whole entire movie. And I swear, I don't know if this took place before or after 9 to 5, but in the beginning, Miss Piggy is dressed exactly like Dolly Parton. I don't know if that was a homage or if that was on
Oh my
purpose.
God, you are so on point because I actually said the same thing in a different way. I remember as a child those two movies going hand in hand for me.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's funny.
Even though 9 to 5 dealt with very adult topics, we probably should have not been watching when he says you're into S&M and she goes, I'm into M&Ms and everything else. I am into M&Ms.
Aren't we all?
I just had some. Sorry, doctor. I'm supposed to be losing weight. It's a sin.
You saw them as sister movies.
That's part of my David's universe. You know, like when we talked about like the Goonies.
The Goonies and Vibes.
And
almost.
Vibes. They just romancing the stone. I remember being, when I would be home sick from school, HBO would play a handful of movies. I would watch The Beastmaster about 1,000 times.
Oh my God.
9 to 5 I would watch.
Yes.
Romancing the Stone, Jewel of the Nile, which is follow-up.
Jewel of the Nile.
Big Trouble in Little China, which we're going to do, I know.
We're doing in January.
All of the Muppet movies can stand alone.
Yes. When they get to New York, they go to a Broadway producer, which happens to be a con artist, and he kidnaps Gonzo and Camilla, which, are they together as a couple? Because some days they list them as a couple, and then other times I thought Camilla was Gonzo's pet. This is the chicken. I feel like they are together in some canon, I'll say that. In other canon, that's his pet.
They're a couple. Gonzo has never been identified as to what he actually is. I think that they are together. I think he loves chickens. Call it a fetish.
I love Gonzo. He is my favorite Muppet. But I love that he loves chickens. Like, I think that's adorable. I gotta say, though,
You held a chicken once.
As I've gotten older, though, the Swedish Chef and Beaker make me laugh more than and Beaker's not even in this movie. I think he has a blink and you miss a cameo at the end, but he makes me laugh, Beaker. I don't know. I also wrote a note here, David. The montage of Can't Take No for an Answer performed by Dr. Teeth is exactly a Gem music video, including the background of no, 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 no. And the montage of them trying to get things done, like the we're getting things done
Yeah,
montage.
and the door keeps getting slammed. Each door keeps getting slammed in their faces.
This is Gem before Gem. This took place a year before Gem, but this is a Gem music video.
You can't take no for an answer. You can't take no for an answer. You can't take no for an answer. No, no, no. 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 No, no,
It definitely relates to the 80s and to a simpler time, I'll say.
A gentler time.
A gentler,
Although,
more
like
simpler
you
time.
said, there's some shit. I mean, we got to get into the antics of New York, but to set up the basic plot of this film, it is the Muppets trying to make it in Manhattan. And a lot of the scenes, though, take place in a diner, which is where our human characters come in, which is Jenny and her father.
Pete, right? Pete?
And they're Greek?
I think they're Greek. It's like the nondescript Italian Greek family.
It's like yes, exactly. Like give them an
peoples are
accent.
peoples are peoples, he says, and he's
Peoples are peoples. She mentions that her father's a very giving, caring man, and he ends up giving them jobs. But
there's also rats working there.
Rizzo the rat and his family is originally working there, and
when they come in, I don't who is it that says I've lost my appetite.
Dr. Teeth, I think the singer.
No, the guy with the one. It's not. It's the one who goes with. He's with them with Janice. He's got red hair.
Not the one that wakes up and is just like, oh, yeah. There's another band member. Yeah, there were 4 dreams in that band.
So he has rats working
at the restaurant, and he does not want to serve the Muppets table because they're poor. They have no money. They tried to make it in New York. They either have to make it or leave. But when Kermit is away trying to get food for the gang, the other Muppets come up with a plan that they all have to leave, but they all just go randomly? Where the hell do they go?
Because they rely on Kermit for everything, and he actually snaps at them because they say, "What are we going to do, Kermit? What are we going to do?" So Kermit, if we rewind, at the end when they came up with this idea of selling it on Broadway, I don't think Kermit was sold on it. He said there was something missing from it, and on top of that, he did it because he wanted to keep his friends together. That's
after college.
That's the whole premise of most of this is camaraderie, friendship, and keeping people together, because he did this to make everyone happy, basically.
So we're introduced to, again, the human characters here are Jenny and her father Pete, like David said. Now, this is where I wrote, David, even as a kid, I have the feeling that Jenny kind of has a thing for Kermit. And I get it, Jenny. Kermit's nice, he's sweet, he's reliable. So I'm feeling Miss Piggy's frustrations then. I'm getting the Miss Piggy feelings of things.
I don't think Jenny has anything. In fact, I think they're trying to pair up the producer at the end of the movie.
Well, yes. So, like, I see Piggy's frustrations because I see Jenny. She's got a little thing, I think, for Kermit. I don't know how it works.
I think you're pushing this agenda.
Well, Miss Piggy would agree. So
I don't believe you. I think that is a lie.
I swear to you, since I was a kid, I got this feeling. And as a kid, I didn't think anything of it. I just like, oh, she likes Kermit. Jenny
is in college.
Well, so Kermit just finished.
Kermit just finished college. Kermit is trying to follow his dreams. Jenny is trying to follow her dreams, both in a similar field, the arts.
That's true.
And being a daughter of an immigrant, she knows what it's like to struggle. I think you're totally off the mark.
Radical ones, you tell me if you see this connection or not. I digress. Jenny, I might have given her a bad name, but let me just say, sets up one of the saddest moments of this movie, which is the song Saying Goodbye, David. And of course I cried.
Of course you did. While you weren't trying to sex it up with a woman and a frog.
I see it in the way that almost like she looks up to him, but she's got like a little crush, but not that she was going to be in, run away with Kermit.
Maybe we should contact Jim Henson Studios and see if we should cancel them for animal cruelty.
Oh my God. All the Muppets, they rely too much on Kermit, they feel, so they're going to lessen his burden, and they all leave to separate locations in the United States.
But they're college students. Maybe they are from home. These places.
Oh, they went home. They went home.
Saying goodbye, going away, seems like goodbye, such a hard thing to say. Touching a hand, wondering why it's time for saying goodbye.
We got Gonzo doing shows, the great Gonzo throwing himself out of cannons. We got Fozzie in a cave hibernating with fellow bears. And then what else? Who else do we see? Oh, Scooter. Scooter? What is Scooter doing?
He's working at a movie theater. He's an usher.
Yeah. Oh
That's
my
where
gosh,
he.
with
That's
the
where he
fish.
meets the chef. Birdie, birdie, throw it in your face and it's 3D. Birdie, birdie, throwing the popcorn.
The chef working at the AK, the Night of the Comet movie theater. So yes, Scooter does work at the movie theater. And that's when he meets that guy though. Who is the guy who throws the fish? He's another Muppet that he always throws fish at the screen. I really like him too.
That's his fetish. He's got a fish
I've
fetish.
seen this movie so many times. And he just comes to throw buckets of fish.
The
Yeah, that is his
boomerang
fetish.
fish. They're boomerang fish. They fly back. And then the band is playing at like some kind of Oktoberfest Bavarian
Yes.
German, like, I don't know, sort of place.
And then Ralph is working at a pound with dogs. And David, let me tell you, the man that came in, a rich man from the Hamptons that I had to deal with when in my previous life in the dog hotel business.
There is a lot of cameos in this movie. Brooke Shields is at the diner and the rat is in love with her.
Yes, but see, she
But
said she dated some rats
No,
before.
well, he goes, are you into interspecies love? And she said, are you asking me if I've dated some rats? Or I have dated some rats before. But that's tongue in cheek. She doesn't mean physically.
I know, of course.
A beautiful young Brooke Shields. You have Liza Minnelli. You have Christopher Hines, the dancer. You have Joan Rivers. You have who is the
Art
producer?
Carney.
Who was the producer in the beginning? Was Is it Dabney Coleman?
Dabney Coleman, yes.
Who, ironically enough, is the boss in 9 to 5.
Maybe that's why you connected. You thought when he went from there, he went right over to his con business right after.
No, it just probably same time period.
Let's get back to Miss Piggy, David, because we see her leaving on the train, but she didn't stay gone long. That's a girl after my own heart. She probably took the next train back, and she's stalking Kermit
and Jenny.
Let's just talk about these scenes, because I know growing up with you, these are some of your favorite scenes, including the construction scene and the hotel window scene, apartment scene with...
That's my favorite. Everything's a weapon, people.
Thank you for this. Let's cue that music, shall we? Everything's a weapon with David. So David, Jenny, and Kermit are around New York where we see...
So there's lots of schemes going on. Kermit, he says if you don't beat him, join him. He wants Jenny to help him dress him like a producer or like an agent. So they're doing these different things and Miss Piggy's following. So there's a point when they're on a park bench, I believe, outside, and there's a construction zone, and Miss Piggy's incognito in a trench coat and hat with glasses. There are construction workers that are catcalling her and, hey, baby, heckling her.
And she's looking over her I love it.
She's ignoring them, and then Jenny, I think, hugs Kermit, and Miss Piggy grabs like a rebar or a bar off of something, rips it off, and starts like wailing on a metal trash can, and she's going, ah! Ah! And the trash can actually gets bent because she's beating it so hard. A metal industrial, it's like an oil,
like a barrel, like
an oil barrel, but like a metal one. And the construction workers turn around real fast. They probably think that she's gonna fucking lose it on them.
Just to follow that up, we saw in Night of the Comedy that being thrown in a street into a pile of garbage is actually fantastic because, like Miss Piggy, the lid, the pipe.
She's a woman after my own heart. She grabbed but no, she ripped that bar off of something,
which I think you could have done in your
I would have done. And she starts beating the trash can, and then Kermit and Jenny are like, what's that noise? And Jenny's like, oh, the sounds of the city.
Which
is New York.
New York always has construction sounds, taxis, cars beeping, so yeah, you think it's happening, but this follows them because then Kermit's Piggy,
so there's multiple
scenes.
Yeah. There's multiple scenes. So apparently there is a housing unit that overlooks the diner and the window of the diner, which Miss Piggy somehow gets an apartment.
Yes, I love her.
And every time Jenny gets close to Kermit, she loses it, and the blinds start. They see, they're like, that happens an awful lot. The blinds start getting thrown around and crashing and thrashing, and it's like because she's throwing fit.
She's beating literally the windows and the blinds. Miss Piggy steals the show, and then before we get to the Central Park scene, in between this happening, Miss Piggy evidently got a job in New York.
At like a Macy's or a Saks Fifth Avenue or something.
At the cosmetic, yes. Like a Macy's, Sears. But yeah, it's like a high end, very high end. And we get the cameo of Joan Rivers in this scene. Now, this I know is another one of your favorite scenes.
I love it. I love it. It's hysterical.
Miss Piggy and Joan Rivers' characters have gone manic. Like, out of this is what retail will do to you, people. This is what retail will do with you. Miss Piggy is literally, I would say, manic, because when Joan Rivers is putting makeup on Miss Piggy and she's like, doe eyes, and Miss Piggy is just like, ah, like she's like crazy.
So Miss Piggy's, after she goes crazy and beats the metal bin, she's running late for work. She goes to the counter.
She's like,
and you see Joan Rivers and her talking. And there's these cute jokes. She's like, my frog turned on me. And Joan Rivers says, I had some bad tuna for lunch.
Yeah.
And Miss Piggy asks Joan if she's pretty. She goes, yeah. She goes, am I beautiful? She goes, don't push it. You're unique.
Which is perfect for Joan Rivers, yes.
But what? And they're trying to sell this perfume, Cal de France, something like that. Cal de France. And if you've ever been to an upscale place in the 80s, especially people used to just come to you and start spraying you. They actually did a lawsuit against it.
Even in the early 90s.
You can have anaphylactic shock or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So Joan Rivers says she can enhance her looks with a little bit of makeup. So she's giving her doe eyes. She's putting rouge on her. They're powder puffing. And she goes, I'm going to give you eyebrows. She goes, pigs don't have eyebrows. She goes, this pig is going to have eyebrows.
And then Miss Piggy's like,
And they start screaming and yelling and powder puffing each other, and then they both get fired.
They go crazy. They go crazy laughing.
Get your Cal de France! It's French, it's feminine! It'll help you grab one of those rotten, stinking men!
You could use a little rouge. Cheekbones. That's what you need, Piggy. I mean, your face is a little round, no offense. I'm gonna give you a complete makeup job, okay? When you walked in this morning, I said, she needs rouge. Come here, turn your face. Did you ever wear rouge?
Yes.
Well, now you're gonna really wear rouge.
Well, Kermit wouldn't care.
Kermit Schmermit. Look at that. You look great. It brings out your eyes. You know what you need?
What?
You need eyebrows.
Pigs don't have eyebrows.
Well, this pig is going to, and so is this.
What is that for?
I'm giving you a big eye. Oh, I think I overdid it, Piggy. Take a look.
You have it too.
I have them too.
Oh, just some more, some more.
Okay, I'll give you doe eyes.
Doe eyes? What are doe eyes?
Doe eyes what Bambi has.
Let me see.
Doe eyes.
Just some more.
And freckles. You need freckles for cutesy.
Oh, freckles.
Cutesy. And I'll be cutesy with you. You know what? Lipstick. Why don't you wear lipstick? Pucker. Oh, this is just, you look fabulous. Look at you. And a little more on the cheeks. And a little more on my cheeks. Find a newest perfume and brand.
You are fired.
I think this is the scene of the movie. Between this scene and the following, David, the Central Park mugging / Miss Piggy on skates scene. This deserves its own montage.
There's two other parts that we should mention. Kermit pretends to be this like curly haired, like totally 70s
radio jock, like, baby, hello, like that.
Hey,
like,
baby, yeah.
Baby, everything was baby.
Love him. Yeah, love this. You're gonna love this. He goes to different places to try to sell this as some sort of a very like cheesy 70s disco-esque agent or something.
Literally.
And the woman goes, there's a frog with an afro coming into your office. So there's that. And then there's another part where he goes to a very famous restaurant.
Oh, this was amazing.
Is it still open? Is that still open?
I feel like Lucy went to this restaurant, but that must have been in California.
There's a very famous restaurant where they have the pictures of all celebrities as caricatures basically on the wall. So he goes in.
It's called Sardi's restaurant? Sardi.
Was it still open?
Yes, it's still open.
So it's a famous place where they put the celebrities up on the wall, and a lot of the celebrities used to go there. And there's actually a place when I lived in California, a place where they would have celebrities come, and they would actually bring the telephones to them, like with the cord, because they didn't have.
Funny. This is actually March 5th, David, of 1927, between Broadway and 8th Avenue, a Broadway staple. So I'm assuming a lot of the Broadway stars, Liza Minnelli, we see.
So they go in, and he has the rats whispering about Manhattan melodies, but then the rats get hungry and they jump on the tables. He gets thrown out, and you see that another failed scheme from Kermit.
David, this is where I wrote, should we do the whisper campaign for the podcast?
It's the Radical Retro Rewind. They're putting millions of dollars into it.
That female rat, she was really like,
it's the biggest podcast in the world.
Radical Ones, we're having our own whisper campaign. If you want to go around randomly and whisper for the Radical Retro Rewind podcast and not have anyone think you're insane, we would love you for it.
Or you can just like us and tell people to like us. And
if you whisper it, you get extra points. Anyway. Sorry.
My husband asked me if I talk about it on the podcast. I said, well, I guess you're going to have to listen to the podcast to see. I'm even selling it to people I live with. Anyway, there's this. And so then there's a scene where Kermit's kind of giving up and Jenny says they're in Central Park. She's like, let's go for a run. This will kind of rejuvenate you and you'll feel good. And so they start running and Miss Piggy this is me. Because Miss Piggy's like, she says something to the effect of, oh God, they're running now?
Yes, I think I wrote this.
Or something like that. I don't know what she says something funny to the effect
She's
of.
Like, oh God, they're jogging, or God, not jogging, or something like that. Basically, because Miss Piggy has been following them and they're all around the city. So now she's like, God, jogging now?
That's me. That would be me. This is what happens when I'm with my kids and I'm like, they're running now, God! Or we're in a store and my husband has like that New York step where he like runs like he's in Manhattan still, and I'm like, slow down.
You know what though, David? I gotta say, I always walk fast too, and I'm not trying to do it.
Oh my God! Remember when you walked into?
I'm delivering organs.
Remember when you ran into the person, you screamed at them? Oh my God! Tell them that story. That's a good one. He runs into somebody by accident and screams at them like they attacked him.
Screamed in their face because I was so startled. It was a woman. I just got a cramp in my back. Oh my God, it's literally a cramping. Oh my gosh, I didn't think of that in years, David. Oh my God.
Your back is we're getting old. Your back is cramping up, and I'm gonna cough because I'm getting over being sick. You need to keep this in the podcast.
Oh my God, David. Did I mention I aged myself for the year for 2 years?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
We're a mess. We're a mess.
This did actually happen. But, what?
So, Central Park, Miss Piggy's running after, she's jogging in a full nice outfit with her silk gloves. She ends up like grabbing onto a light post and she realizes that her hand is stuck gum on it. She's like,
great!
And all of a sudden, a man grabs her purse.
In broad daylight.
Back in the 80s, before they cleaned up the city, there was a lot of crime there and a lot of...
And now again!
Everything's cyclical, but...
Oh my God, but this is amazing.
This is where Miss Piggy, she starts running after him, and then she meets up with Gregory Hines, who's on a park bench with skates, and she goes, may I borrow those, please?
Yes, you don't...
And then she starts skating after the guy in Central Park, and he's running.
My God.
He's running through people. He's running down the sides of like places off of the path. And it gets quiet. All of a sudden,
you know what makes it better, David? You know that there must be like a human in this Piggy costume skating down Central Park.
And she's like, ah! And then the guy's at the end of the steps, and you see Miss Piggy jump the steps, and she's hitting every step. She's going, hitting each step as she's going down with skates after this man. And he's running and running and running. And finally he gets to a quiet area. And all of a sudden you see Miss Piggy jumps on top of him from like above.
Scream. She does a Miss Piggy scream.
The best is when she's in the steps and she's hitting each step going,
Oh my God, David, but when she finally gets the purse back...
first of all, the man pulls out everything, a hacksaw out of her purse, shoes, lingerie.
Oh, that's right. He was going through her pocketbook to pull out, and she had everything in that pocketbook. He wanted the money.
Including a saw.
This is why Miss Piggy must be at least one of your spirit animals.
I love her. She's hardcore. This is my girl. This is my girl. She's surviving.
Honestly, Miss Piggy is a unique character out of all of pop culture. But anyway, so then when she finally gets the purse though, and the women are helping her pick it up, and she's like, "Oh, thank you." And then she runs into Kermit and Jenny.
So then she doesn't want to talk to Jenny because she thinks she's trying to steal her man. So then Gregory Hines comes and is like, "Can I have my skates back?" And they're arguing. He goes, "Oh, don't worry, I'll take them off while you argue." He's like, I've been here trying to sell the show. And she's like, "And you gave Jenny the Huggies." And Gregory Hines, "Is it true you gave Jenny the Huggies?"
That was amazing.
And she's like crying on his shoulder, and he's like, well, you lied, and you said you were out of town, and you're blah, blah, blah. And he goes, well, that's true, too. So he kind of bounces back and forth between both of them.
That's one of the scenes I always remember. They decide to do a Central Park horse and carriage ride. I gotta say, this whole stretch is iconic because who do they come upon but the two old men from the theater who heckle? And I gotta say, I never like anyone making fun of anyone's looks or weight, but when those two men, the pig squeals, the two older gentlemen Muppets that seem as big, here, piggy, piggy, they just passed by. I lost it.
They're just cruel, but they're funny.
Literally, passed them by. They're in their own carriage, right? Oh, piggy, piggy, like squealing.
Hey, look, Waldorf. It's the frog and the pig. Yeah, looks like they're in love. Yeah. Kind of makes you sick, doesn't it? Whoa! Hey, lovey-dovey!
So then we come to, this is what I call the unnecessary part where Kermit loses his memory for a short time, comes to these other frogs that are all Jill, Bill, Lil, Phil, and he gets kind of involved with these other frogs and he doesn't remember who he is. In the meantime, the diner owner is writing all the letters to the Muppets to come back because he sold the show to a son of a Broadway producer.
So yes, Kermit, he gets approached by this Broadway producer who's a son of a Broadway producer who wants to become a real producer, so to speak. So this would be his first project. He sells the show. He calls the diner to tell them that they sold the show, but he's not paying attention. He gets hit by a car or cab.
Yes.
And he wakes up in a hospital bed, and the doctor is... Who's the doctor, Ryan?
Who is that doctor?
I know who it is, but do you know?
I recognized her.
Mel's Diner. His doctor is Linda Lavin.
Linda Lavin?
Who is from Mel's Diner. She says he has no memory, he has memory loss, and they can give him some clothes because he was found nude. And
oh my God, yeah, yes, that's my favorite.
And to start his life over. So in the meanwhile, the producer comes and says they have 2 weeks to get this show together because the theater is being booked and everything. The father just wants to basically throw him out there and see what he can do. The Pete has to write, he says, deer, bears, chickens, and other things.
I love that too.
What did he say? Is Broadway, is time,
yes.
is time.
It's a stereotype, but the whole movie is just lighthearted. To get this part, I wrote, all are looking for Kermit. It's, the show is about to open. They're at a restaurant and they overhear Kermit humming one of the songs from the show, and Fozzie's like, it's Kermit, or he starts
he's playing the
glasses,
water glasses. He's dinging the water glasses with a spoon.
But this is my favorite part. To convince him of who he is, Miss Piggy, well, first she karate chops him because she tells him, you are Kermit the Frog. You love me. We are going to be married. Honestly, I think she just added all that part in because there was no mention of marriage. And then when he's like, I would never go with a pig, Miss Piggy shoots him across the room. She does.
Yeah, but he also says some pretty cruel things to her, like,
which is so un-Kermit.
So doesn't he say something like a pig noise too? Doesn't he?
Yeah,
say,
like I'm thinking back.
Maybe you can bring home the bacon.
Oh my God, that was terrible. But Miss Piggy,
she throws him across the room and she says, "Cancel the show."
Yeah, cancel this. Yeah, but it wakes Kermit up. He's like, Piggy.
Which is the classic in most movies. The person hit their head, so then they hit their head again, and it jogs their memory, and they get their memory back. That's a classic movie thing.
So it's a third act thing. It doesn't last too long. It lasts long enough not to become annoying. But bam, they get to the show, and oh my God, David, I think this show would be a hit on Broadway. The tunes are amazing. I mean, granted, we grew up with these songs, but the songs are fantastic. And so Miss Piggy basically secretly marries Kermit during this Broadway performance. The show opens and it's all about someone getting married, right? We get this song, Somebody's Getting Married.
Somebody get some shoes and rice and presents today.
Somebody get a sweet negligee.
'Cause somebody's getting married today.
Somebody get champagne, somebody rent a room, somebody get the lovely bride, and somebody get the, somebody. Burning mood. Somebody's getting married today.
So then when we finally get to a chapel, David, and you know it's legit because the Sesame Street crew came from Sesame Street for this wedding.
There's little nuances, and there's also even a little bit of adult humor throughout the Muppet movies and shows, which I love. There's a part of the thing that really I like when there's little babies sitting next to really old people, and the babies say, and the babies sing something to the effect, days turn into years, and then the old people say, years go flying day by day.
Years go passing into years.
Years go passing day by day.
And there's something very, very true about that.
It's a very melancholy to the music.
Yes, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, and it touches you. So and then there is adult humor, obviously, when like Janice says she's not going to pose for nudes, even if they're artistic.
Okay.
There's different things, and that's what makes up this whole Muppet universe, because there's something for the adults.
It's true. It is a Muppet universe. One part of a flashback to honestly the Muppet Babies. They took the Muppet Babies, which was a hit at the time. As
well, that was when they're in the carriage ride. Miss Piggy starts sucking her thumb, and
Miss Piggy has a flashback, but she literally
she's regressing. She's regressing.
You know, her Miss Piggy her gloves that she always has on.
She has on lavender satin gloves,
and she was sucking her thumb. But we see them as Muppet Babies, and we get this 50s-esque kind of tunes. I love that.
Piggy, I think the ride is over.
During the wedding ceremony in this Broadway show, Kermit looks at her. And by the way, David, I found out that Jim Henson hired a real minister for this. So I don't know if he really wanted Miss Piggy and Kermit to be married, but evidently, even in universe, it's unknown. But some say yes. Miss Piggy evidently always says yes. Kermit says no. Sometimes he says yes. So they're playing it coy. But Kermit looks at Piggy and says, I thought Gonzo was playing the part of the minister. And Miss Piggy looked
like laughs.
You make me happy each time I see him. He'll be the reason my heart can sing. He'll stand beside me and I'll have everything.
She'll make me happy each time I hold her, and I will follow where my heart may lead, and she'll be all I ever need.
The show is a success.
There's also all the extra bears, chickens, and whatevers that came along with all of the other Muppets to do the show.
That's
so
what you were saying earlier. Kermit says that's what was missing. More Muppets, more chickens, more bears, more everything.
And listen, all these movies are beautiful to me because they speak about things that we don't seem to want to speak about anymore these days. And I don't understand it, and I never will. You know, people can say, yes, there was some crude humor in it. Yes, there's probably things that were said that would not be something acceptable today. But at the same time, there was an innocence about it. The reason why you and I like Sailor Moon so much is not just because there's magical powers. It's because it's always fundamentally about love conquering the bad, good conquering bad. There's always power struggle. This is about friendship. This is about keeping friends together. This is about loving people. This is about strangers becoming friends and helping each other.
Or interspecies love.
Jenny is with
they
the
do end up
producer,
getting,
and
yes.
they get,
It's perfect because she's a costume designer.
And she does the costumes for the show, so it helps her career.
Rewatching this all this years later, and I know you didn't get a chance to see it with the kids. I actually was wondering what they would have thought, but I think it holds up beautifully. The humor is timeless.
It was good. It was on point. It was good. I wasn't bored with it. I'll be honest with you. There's certain times there's movies and I'm like, I can just
you kind of
listen to it, and you're just like, it kept my attention. I just like the messages that I see in these different things. And that's the reason for these podcasts. Let's be honest. If these movies didn't touch you, didn't touch me in a certain way, good, bad, or indifferent, didn't leave a mark, we wouldn't be talking about them. We would be doing something completely different. If it didn't mold us, which also is like why as a parent, like sometimes I see stuff and it like scares me.
I believe it.
Okay, so my son loves this thing called Super Speedo. Kiko and Super Speedo. It's from another country. I don't know where it's produced. It comes off as maybe being, whoever's watching, I don't need to be canceled, Pakistani or Indian or some kind of, like, that's the vibe I get from the characters. I mean, they're talking about, this is a kid show. They're talking about, so Super Speedo is a car and Kiko is this kid that can use the car to help solve crimes and different things. And he has a very powerful, like, I don't know if it's his wristwatch gives him how he can kick people really hard.
Inspector
like
Gadget mixed with Speed Racer.
Sort of. But like in the thing, they were on a plane and terrorists took over and they were going to shoot people and throw them out of the plane. Like as
what?
But very, very done, very lightheartedly. Like bad guys are like these knucklehead stooges. And the guy's kid's like, tell them we're going to get our boss out of jail or we're going to kill these people.
I mean, some people might say, well, wow, it's been so many years. But to me, that's just some bad humor. Anything with a hijacking.
It's not even bad humor. It's something that a child should not be looking at.
Yeah, that's.
But that's, when these parent groups and like it gets to a point where there's a balance. Like you have, like, again, we talk about, we don't do political on our show. There's the extreme in one direction and there's an extreme in the other. There's an extreme that you can't have anything, say anything, do anything when it comes to like shows and movies like what we do, or it's not politically correct, or it's cancel culture or whatever, or they said something inappropriate, so the whole movie should be wiped away, so to speak. And then there's these people that are just like, who cares, let it go. So like there's I as a parent, it bothered me them to be depicting someone hijacking a plane, whether it was done lightheartedly. So I can understand where parents would get very upset, because I was like, what the heck?
Very strange to have on a kid's cartoon nowadays.
And just because the kid made it because he's got these powers, if you would throw a person out of a plane, really didn't have super car,
of course,
that has powers to fly, the person would be dead. So it's literally done in a very lighthearted it's a kid's cartoon. So to me, there is stuff. The Muppets would have never grown. They might have, if Gonzo jumped out of a plane, he would have had a chicken.
He has a helmet on, and he would have gotten caught.
He had a helmet and a chicken parachute, and he would have landed on a trampoline.
Yeah.
Not terrorists taking over a plane to get their mob boss out of jail.
Wow.
Like, this is, I'm telling you have to be really careful as a parent. There's stuff out there, and you don't want to be a prude.
Yes, I understand.
But at the same time, like, this is the reason why these cartoons are more endearing. That's what I'm thankful for.
Hell, we're around the time of being thankful for things, Thanksgiving, and it's true, it's a time for family and togetherness. So, like David said, the Muppets and these movies and these shows touched us. But did we touch you? So, Radical Ones, I know that David and I are so thankful for everyone that listens to us. Really, anyone who's liked, shared, it means so much to us. And Jeanette, as always, thank you so much for all you do for us. And we're so thankful for you and all of our other beautiful Radical Ones.
I think you said it best. I'm thankful that we're able to share this with people and they enjoy it. Honestly, you know what? Yeah, if tomorrow someone handed me a big fat contract and was like, you guys are going to be, notoriety and
give
this
us
and
the
that, that'd be
Kermit
amazing
contract.
Too, but give us the Manhattan melodies.
Exactly.
I think it's exciting when people can communicate. I think it's exciting that we have people listening to us in other countries. Just so I'm thankful, obviously, for my family and everything that I have. And for as far as the podcast is concerned, I'm thankful for being part of something that people find enjoyment. The fact that someone says they laughed so hard that, they spit out their drink or something makes me happy, because that's my whole life. I've love to hear people laugh and make them feel happy. So,
and you can continue to make people laugh because you could always find David at Universal Appeal 2020, all one word, on Instagram, and the Radical Retro Rewind Podcast, one word, on Instagram as well as YouTube. We're always uploading new videos on there. Please like, comment, and subscribing if you are listening to this on YouTube. And again, thank you so much, Radical One. We will be back. Take care. Bye.
bye.